Hello everybody, my name is Marlowe and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Survival, where you join me here in the middle of the ocean where I'm currently en route to today's building location, which is this mushroom island coming into render distance now. Today we're going to be transforming this mycelium covered island into an awesome roller coaster tour of the world experience. I'll explain as we go. First things first though, I need to prep the island for building by filling in any awkward gaps like this slash through the land, and of course getting rid of all of this disgusting mycelium. Oh, and the mushrooms have got to go too, and probably you guys as well, although maybe I'll keep you around. Hang on. Why am I doing this? My whole idea for this island is to create separate biomes, basically. And most of them aren't even gonna have grass. We're gonna have sand, terracotta, snow, and maybe some patches of grass. So it seems pointless converting this all only to change part of it later. So yeah, I'm gonna stop the shoveling right now and do something else. As you can see right here, I've already got a bit of a plan of what I want to do, so hopefully that should give you a good idea of what we're going to accomplish today. Obviously with a roller coaster running through it. The biomes have been sectioned off, which is going to make the next step a little bit easier, which is to actually replace the mycelium with the block that's going to be primarily in the floor. So of course the tundra biome is going to be made out of snow, the badlands will be red sand and then some terracotta later on, the jungle is going to be made out of grass blocks, and then the forest may be made out of grass blocks, but for now we're going to do path blocks, and then the swamp will just have dirt blocks. We get some differentiation there between those three. The beach of course is just going to be regular sand, and the mountains, as you may have guessed, will be stone. As you can see, we had a bit of an outbreak with the grass seeping through to the swamp. So at some point, I'm going to have to switch this out for coarse dirt or podzol maybe. Or we could turn this swamp into a mangrove swamp and just use mud. Yeah, I think we'll do that actually. So now the task I have to do is basically merge all of these biomes together. And in the process of doing that, I'm also going to probably maybe build up some mountains, add in the terracotta to the mesa biome, possibly plant a couple of trees. I'm not sure. I just want to get this looking a bit more normal because these barricades, I don't want them staying. Once I moved my mushroom cows over to their brand new island, I decided to take down the stone borders, replace those blocks and just kind of neaten everything up a little bit, ready to do some biome building. Starting off with the mangrove swamp, then heading to the forest. After that I completed the mesa biome, and last but not least, I did the jungle. Now I know what you're thinking. You missed 3 of the biomes. The tundra, the mountains, and the beach. Well, I haven't done anything with the beach and the tundra biome because this is kind of how they come in their natural form, which is what I'm doing with these biomes, building them as they are in Minecraft. And for the beach and the tundra, there's not much more going on than snow and sand, respectively. The mountain biome, however, there's another reason why I haven't tackled that just yet. It's because, as you may have guessed, I need to build mountains over here, which is a bit bigger of a task than all of the other biomes I've done. Making mountains in Minecraft is not a simple thing. So I'm going to head into my test world, mock up some mountains, and then we can build them over here in the actual survival world, which I would have done all off camera, so you guys just get to skip that part and enjoy a nice satisfying time lapse of some mountains being built. Enjoy. These may not be the biggest and best mountains you've ever seen built in Minecraft, but I am really happy with them. They are cartoonishly pointy and not at all realistic, Minecraft or real life wise, but I don't think that matters all that much. But for my first real custom mountain project in Minecraft, I don't think I've done too bad really. So as I said, we do need to build some stuff in all of these biomes to make them a little bit more interactive, but before we do that, I think I would like to blend them together a little bit more. Now, I debated for a while what I was going to do with this. I was thinking of possibly trying to transition cleverly between them by covering up the actual border here with trees and bushes and other builds and that sort of stuff, but I think I'm going to go with something a lot simpler. So around here, I've already blended together the mountains and the tundra biome, and as you can see, all I've done is kind of just mix the blocks together slowly to create this block transition, going from snow to stone. I'm not sure how it's going to work for some of them, like the path blocks here, and the sand to path blocks, and sand to snow, but I'm going to give it a go, and it'll probably look better than what it does right now, which is just a really harsh line. And I'll be honest, even that doesn't look too bad. I probably don't need to blend them, but I do want to just a little bit. So in theory, this should be super simple. I'm going to take a block from one biome and then another one from the biome next to it and switch them around. Obviously, more than just once. I'll be honest, I don't think it's really changed it that much, but I also don't think it's made it any worse, so I am in fact going to go ahead and do this for the rest of the biomes. There we go, biomes have been transitioned. As you can see here, it's nothing special, but I do think it makes a significant improvement over the entire stretch of the island. So right now I'm just kind of running around doing my final checks of the island, making sure all of the terraforming and landscaping is done for the most part, and then I'm ready to head back home and gather some supplies for building. At some point I would like to do something with the mushrooms. I feel very bad leaving them on that island there. I'm sure they like it, but it's a little bit small, isn't it? Hello dear boy, how are you doing today, Clifford? Are you still angry like you were in the other episode? No. He's very happy today. So now I need to just gather a whole bunch of items that I think I might be using. I want to make as little trips as possible because that island that we're building on is actually quite far away. It takes a little while to get between. So if I can just grab everything that I need, that would be great. Trouble is, I don't really know what I'm going to build just yet. So I'm going to stock up on a lot of shulker boxes. Okay, I've got everything I think I might need. I've topped up on food and rockets, so we are ready to head back to the island and actually do some building that isn't just terrain. We have made it back to our awesome looking island, which still has plenty of work left to be done on it. So we've got to do a whole bunch of builds in all of these separate biomes. I've got some ideas of what I want to do, however, I'm not going to time-lapse it or anything like that. It's not very often I just get to sit back and build in this game because I'm usually too focused on the video production and making it cool for you guys, but every now and again, I just like to sit back and build. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll construct a bunch of cool little details in all of these biomes, and then afterwards I can go around and give you the grand tour. And then we can start work on the coaster. It's coming, I promise. Okay, it is done. I'm ready to show you around, and I think we're going to put on some shaders for this because why not? Starting in the beach biome, we have the entrance to the roller coaster with this small beach hut and the docking system, and then just beside those we have some even smaller beach huts and a nice little campfire set up. Over here we have a small boat docked up by the bay and some more storage and a tiny little bird-shaped totem pole. I don't know what it is, but it's very cute. We also have some sun loungers, and then I've just placed a couple of tiki torches around here where the track is going to go through. For the mesa, we've got a small wagon parked up beside a trading area with some pop-up stalls selling some goods to whoever's visiting, along with a little bit more storage with the barrels and note blocks. As a fun little detail beside the wagon, we have a desert well, or a mesa well, I guess it should technically be called. And then beside the well, maybe a not so fun detail, we have a grave. I wasn't sure what to build there, so I just put that into the ground. And then at the top of the mesa biome, we have a horseless horse stable. We didn't have all that much room in the forest biome, so all we've really got going on in here is some planted flowers, and I've also set up a couple of beehives. I did manage to squeeze in a very small hobbit hole, but that's about it really. Coming round to our snowy tundra biome, which is now also partially an ice spikes biome. As you can see, I built a couple of those kind of stretching across that small peninsula, and I also planted some more spruce trees, along with building an igloo, a small campfire setup, and a sled. The mangrove swamp was super overrun as it was, so we didn't have too much room once again. I did manage to make a couple of mud huts and also this bridge, which I plan to take the roller coaster across when we build it. And similar deal with the jungle, there's not a lot of room here, so all I've done is build a couple of tree huts on the smaller of the jungle trees, and it also made a miniature version of the jungle temple. Last but not least, in the mountain biome, I have done absolutely nothing other than add in this waterfall which connects to the river that flows through the mangrove swamp and the jungle. I wanted to kind of keep these as they are and not ruin it with any build that I was just going to chuck on the mountainside. And just like that, we are ready to build the roller coaster, going all the way around, taking a tour of these wonderful biomes. I think the first thing I need to do is just figure out roughly the route I want to take. All I know is that I want it to start and end at this beach hut. There's a couple of other things, like I'd quite like it to go through the wagon here, and as I mentioned, cross over the bridge in the mangrove swamp, and potentially scale the mountains or go through them. Other than that, I don't really know where it's going to go. Okay, I've finished plotting out where the track is going to be going with all of these spruce planks, but I don't really want to show you the exact route just yet. And that's because I want to keep it as a secret until we finally get round to riding the rail. It is worth mentioning that this is not the final look of the elevated track. When it's in the floor, I'll probably just leave it as spruce. I don't think we need to do much more than that, but when it lifts off the ground, yeah, that's not staying. We're going to have to change that up somehow. I'm going to have to do so many test runs on this track because I want the timing of the rails to be perfect. I don't just want to zip through everything super speed, placing a powered rail on every block. I want to be able to actually look at the surroundings. So I don't want to go too fast, but I also don't want to go too slow, so I'm kind of just riding the rail for each section and making sure it's paced well. That little bit right there was pretty perfect actually. Slow enough so we could look at the beach surroundings, but not too slow that we just kind of stopped. Anyway, back to work. Well, as you can see, the rail line is now done. It looks a whole lot better than what it did before. However, I've ran into a slight problem. You see, the rail doesn't really work the same way as it used to. If we just take this part, which you saw earlier in the video, I do this bit fine, but then I just come to basically a complete stop around about here, which it didn't do before. Okay, I've figured out the problem. It's definitely something to do with stairs on a corner. So you see this configuration right here, powered rail. That should be no trouble, right? Well, watch this. We'll just start at the top of the hill here. That'll get us enough speed to match what it should be. We go down here, and then we get to the corner, and it just stops. I don't know what it is. I assume something to do with the hitbox of the minecart and the stairs acting funny. And I've got quite a few of these turns, so I'm gonna have to go through and resort everything out once again, basically. Okay, I've fixed all of my corners. We are now ready to ride this roller coaster. I am so excited. Or should I say, I'm excited for you guys to see it. I've ridden this thing maybe too many times this episode. I know they say you should keep arms and legs inside of the vehicle at all times, but my feet stick out at the end and I don't really know what to do about that. So let's just hope I don't hit anything on the way through, but we press the button and go for a nice tootle along the beach, getting a look at the mountain huts and a little glimpse of the mesa biome which we're entering now, passing by our horse stables. Yes, those are horses, don't question it. Before going through the wagon into the trading area, before zipping on by into the forest biome where we have a hobbit hole. Don't look too closely inside of there, it's not finished. All parts of the magic. But the idea with the forest biome is I wanted to just kind of twist and turn in amongst all of the trees, going at a pretty good pace to keep the rider entertained, but not so fast that they'd get whiplash if this were to be realistic. But we're out of the forest now nearly, and entering into the mangrove swamp where we immediately dive underwater because we can waterlog rails now, which is awesome, and then make our way out into the ocean where we get this faraway look at the mangrove swamp before heading back in through all of the vines, up past the mud huts and over the bridge. And then we begin to climb the mountain, chugging away on the cart, just about making it to the top before spinning around and going back down the other side with our first proper drop. Woo! woo, into the water, which slows us down nicely. Nice little splash, a little dip there in the current, and into the jungle temple. And we come out the other side and go into a tree house, a little spin around on this part. And then same deal as before, we're kind of out of the jungle, getting a nice slowed look before shooting back in through all of the trees and the vines and the nature, crossing over this bridge in the river, and then we enter the mountain itself and begin to climb to the top, preparing us for the biggest drop and most thrilling parts of the ride when we do eventually get there and we teeter over the edge and woo! All the way down into the tundra biome, and we kind of just coast along here. It's open enough where we can kind of take a look at everything. The sled, we pass by the campfire setup and past the igloo, which you could open that door, but I suggest not, because once again there's nothing inside of it. And then we go along this last final stretch down the beach where we can see the other secret biome that I added there. We got a nice little mycelium island with 2 of the remaining mushrooms, and we can also take a bit of an overview of the entire island. Pass by the grave and the mesa and the well that we missed before, down by the beach, heading past the boat and a little bit more storage, kind of slowing down towards the end of the ride because we are now done. So there we go, that was the roller coaster, fully finished, and here's what the island's looking like now with the actual track in place, and it's pretty awesome if I do say so myself. So thank you everybody so much for watching this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I have had such a great time working on this fun project. I like doing things like this, especially when it's interactive and we can actually ride a roller coaster around our build. Pretty cool. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed and that you're looking forward to the next episode, which is in fact episode 50. So we'll be doing a world tour. So look forward to that. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. I know the video has already ended, but there's something I have to show those of you who have decided to stick around. There's something very weird going on with my game. I'm trying to get the thumbnail for today's episode, and can you see that down by the horse stables? There's a mushroom cow that just kind of, a very weird looking mushroom cow that just kind of follows my cursor around everywhere I go. It may look like I've just put this on the screen in the edit. I assure you it's not, because look at it go inside of the blocks. I have no idea what's going on. It's very weird and kind of just follows me around everywhere. Hopefully that's not a permanent part of my videos from now on. I guess we'll find out next time.